Hello, hello, hello. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning to some, depending on whatever part of the world you are joining us from today. Welcome to another signature Impact 10,000 event, and we call it Boss Up. I am your host, Charlene Johnson, and I want to thank all of you for joining us here on this amazing platform. Thank you for coming. Now, as you all can see, I am so excited and fired up to be able just to sit with you and be a part of this life-changing event for women. All right, so now let's welcome all our specially invited guests. We wish to welcome all of the phenomenal ladies in the house. We also want to not forget the men, because men, even though this is our Women's Boss Up event, as we learned last week, we need you guys. We encourage you guys to continue to be here, to support us, to encourage us, because as a team, we can do so much. Now, without further ado, I wish to welcome someone who we have in our presence. She is our guest, and she is an amazing, powerful, beautiful woman. She is a youth, parenting, and family coach. Now, this lady has over 25 years of experience. She's a leadership consultant. She has a deep love for young people, and she has developed many programs for and with the youth and with young people in families, schools, churches, even orphanages, youth groups, and trust me, the list goes on. She is the founding member of the professional learning community at Creating Aha Moments in the Classroom, and is the co-owner of the AHA Learning Academy. She is bilingual and enjoys teaching Spanish to children, adults, teens. Now listen to this. She has an executive master's degree in business administration. She is a licensed master practitioner of neuro-linguistic programs, certified John Maxwell coach, trainer, speaker, and a youth mental health first aider. And get this one, she is also a survivor of cancer. I count it a privilege. I count it a great honor to have and to welcome our special guest for Impact 10,000, Miss Toanya Rahim. Miss Rahim, hi and welcome to our platform. Welcome to our Boss Up platform. Thank you so much for agreeing to be a part of this positive, life-changing event for us, the women. And now, Miss Rahim, all of us here, we are eager to hear what you have felt led to inspire us about. So without further ado, Miss Rahim, over to you.
Thank you so much, Charlene. My goodness. You know what? If I did not agree to say yes to this, Charlene, and I met you, no way could I say no. I love your energy.
Thank you.
And hello, everybody. Oh, my goodness. What a joy and a pleasure and honor it is for me to be here to share in your space. Thank you for giving me these few minutes with you. I want to start with sharing a little story with you. You see, it was a sunny Sunday, and I was sitting on the floor of our board house. You know, we lived in this beautiful board house, and I was sitting on the floor alongside my sister, who's 1 year younger than I am, and we were playing tea time. I don't know if you've ever played tea time when you were little, but this is a joyful time. My other little sister, who's a baby, was crawling around at that time. And just as I managed to put the teacup, you know, with the tea, the water, and I put it on top the table, she would always come and knock it down. Oh my goodness. Mommy, mommy, stop it, stop it. When will you stop it and keep doing this? I shouted at my sister. My mother came in the room very calmly. My sister was crying. Well, I started crying louder because mommy was there and I wanted her attention. Tears running down my face. I looked at the corner of my eyes and there I saw the swizzle stick. Well, the swizzle stick spoke 1,000 words, I want to tell you. So I sat up, dried my tears, and my mother walked very calmly towards me. With one hand on my shoulder and the other one, well, she rested on the swizzle stick because, you know, she was making some callaloo, and really that's really the reason why she came in with this swizzle stick this time. She pointed to that side of the room. And just where in the boardhouse, where there was a hole or a crack, there was something shimmery, something glittery, something magical. I wanted to go over and touch it. So we went over and it was glimmery and shiny. It made lines. Everywhere there was a hole on this bright, sunny Sunday. She explained, "This, my child, is the pixie dust. There's magic in this pixie dust, you know," she would say. She looked me straight in the eyes, and everything became calm, everything became peaceful. As she said, whenever you're not feeling so good, remember the pixie dust. Remember that no matter how hard it is, you need to get quiet, get peaceful, connect with the pixie dust. And we pretended to hold this thing, put it on my heart. This is something that I was able to take with me through my childhood, through my teenage years, and now as an adult. You see, so when the results came out for common entrance, I didn't pass for Irie High School, my first choice. Instead, I passed for the second choice. I was able to connect, put my hand to my heart, get quiet, get peaceful, connect. Made friends that are lifelong friends, some of them still today, playing an important role in my life because I was able to remember to connect. And then one day, after working in an organization for 16 years and feeling like this is the place I'm going to retire, this is the place. I know this is the place. My boss, who was from another country, because it was an international company, came to say, well, it's time, unfortunately, for us to let some people go. I was able to hold on to the pixie dust, get calm, get peaceful, and connect to the strength that was within me, and to remember my mother. Now, 9 years ago, in this very cold office, I remember, I sat there with, well, he was my boyfriend at the time. We were holding hands and we looked across the room, and you see, the man in the white coat looked up and said, I'm afraid it's malignant. What? I know start a new company here, boy. The leadership lab you're going to lead. I'm supposed to be coaching and training and speaking. What you telling me about? There's not the time for this. There's not the time. The next time, no. But it was malignant. But bigger than that was the fact that I could get calm, could get peaceful, be quiet, and connect. So here I am 9 years later with a new hairstyle. I like the other one too, it was quite nice. I didn't have to go to the hairdresser. And well, if it happened during COVID time, I wouldn't have had to cover these grays like I have to do now. I was able to embrace the things because I learned that the pixie dust is not really pixie dust, What my mother was doing. Well, she was using the pixie dust because I was 8 years old to show me that I could connect, I could get quiet, I could be peaceful and connect with God. I could keep faith. Tell me, where in your life do you sometimes feel like giving up? Where do you feel a burden of self-doubt and self-judgment? Who is telling you can't do it? How can you remember who you truly are, not who they tell you you are? Could you get quiet? Could you get peaceful? Could you be calm and connect? What are your dreams? How can you connect with your purpose here on earth? Do you want to leave without at least trying to achieve that purpose? You sure? I would hear people speaking Spanish and my hair will perk up. So I decided to go to the Venezuelan embassy to learn to speak the language. And who was in the class? Well, the teacher was Venezuelan, a native Spanish speaker. Everybody else was Trinidadian, speaking English. So what we used to do? Well, when she finished teaching and we do whatever we had to, we would still speak in English to each other. I remember distinctly, however, this day that we had this lime and get together. So the native Spanish speakers were in one part of the room and us English speakers were in another. I observed and I listened. Then the heart started to sing. Remember your dream, girl. What are you doing? And I walked across to the other side of the room, where I struggled, by the way, to communicate, but gave it my best shot. Today, Yo puedo hablar. In fact, I am living my dream. I am able to teach, to learn, to enjoy. And the dream keeps on going. No second choice in common entrance. No cancer. No obstacles could define who I am. Did they make me feel down? Did I feel a sense of sadness? Did I sometimes feel like giving up? Yes. But you see, when we learn to get quiet, be calm, be peaceful, there's a special type of joy that you start to experience that is second to none. When last did you look at yourself and congratulated yourself, for where you are now? What is the focus? Every thought that we could ever think produces an effect. Our emotions can either serve us or hinder us, and the emotions is coming from the thought. Who controls your thoughts? So here's what I want you to do. I want you to think of a big red circle. Close your eyes, if anything distracting you, and think of this big red circle. You see it? Now I want you to think about a yellow square, a purple rectangle, a blue triangle. Now the final one is really important. So if you fell asleep on me, wake up. Because I want you to think about whatever shape you desire, whatever color you desire. Now I want you to type in the chat, was it a green circle? A green hexagon, Donna, nice, I like it. A green heart, Tonika. Blue diamond. Wow, blue diamond, yes. Red hearts. My gosh, these are awesome. Here it is. You get to pick what you get to think about. Some of you chose, things I wasn't even calling. Therefore, you could block out where you need to block out so that you could focus on where you want to go, who you want to be, what you want to do, and what you want to have. That belongs to you and only you. What do you need to do when you need to shift your mindset? When somebody tells you to think about a polka dot circle, And you don't really like polka dot, especially when it's orange and pink. That's not you. I'm only talking orange and pink polka dots to you. That's all I'm telling you. But you want the blue diamond or the green heart. That's you. But yellow and orange polka dot is all you're hearing. Is it truly all you're hearing? It might be what you're hearing on the outside, but what you're hearing on the inside. When are you taking the time to connect with what is on the inside? Because if you have a dream that you could dream, if you have a thing that you could really, really want that's inside of your heart that was placed there, and the resources, the solutions, and everything that you need to do, not right there alongside with. But we can't see it if you're looking outside. If you're only hearing the yellow and the orange polka dots, we can't see the green heart inside. We can't see the blue diamond that lies down, that is trying, that is aching to come out. To become who we are meant to be. Because we all meant to be something, you know. Every single one of us. It's unique. It's unique within you. But it complements each other. That means that if you reach your dream, I should celebrate because it complemented mine. Who are you spending time with? Okay. So the voices on the outside could influence the voices on the inside. That is the truth. It could happen if we learn to get quiet, be peaceful, be calm, and connect. The voices on the outside could influence the inside. So here's the thing. Which are the voices that I'm going to choose to listen to? The voices that tell me that when you get cancer, you're going dead. When you get laid off, it's real difficult for you to start over. When you pass for your second choice in common entrance, you're not really bright. That's the voice that I will listen to. Let's not ever give up the power of choice. Because that's our power, you know. We have some superpowers that lie inside of us, so dormant, so quiet. We need to wake them up. So let's try to wake it up. I strongly encourage you to connect with who you are. And perhaps you already started that journey because you're here on a forum like this. That tells me something. That tells me that you're ready. That tells me you're on a journey already. That tells me that you are prepared to hear the voices on the outside that will influence in a positive way, that will serve instead of hinder, to take you to the next level. That tells me that I should celebrate with you. And I hope that you will celebrate with me as we remember to get calm, get quiet, be peaceful, and connect. I do hope that what I've shared with you today is in some way influencing your thoughts in a positive way. Thank you so much.
Wow, 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 Miss Rahim. Oh my goodness, we are so touched. I mean, I have wrote down so many nuggets. I mean, first of all, Miss Rahim, thank you so much for really sharing deep from your heart with all of us, the ladies and the men here on our platform. I want to thank God for your mom, because it was because of that voice that she had and that she gave to you that it really encouraged you to connect, you know, the lessons that she taught you. So some of the little nuggets I have taken from it, and for all of the ladies out there, if you have any questions for Miss Rahim, I hope it's okay. You all can always put it in the chat. All right, because we're going to take a break in a short while, give Miss Rahim a little time to, you know, just relax, connect. And then we're going to come back and we're going to speak with Miss Rahim. Now, what I got out of it, some of the main thoughts, we need to embrace obstacles and challenges, but they don't define us. We need to remember who we are, not who folks tell us that we are. We also need to ensure that for sure we get quiet, calm, peaceful, and we connect. We connect with that strength within us. We connect with God. We keep the faith, because regardless of what comes our way, we can overcome. And you all see that as a testimony. Ms. Rahim, we see that as a testimony in your life. You are beautiful, you are strong, and you have inspired me. And I'm sure you have inspired a lot of other women. So, woman, if Ms. Rahim Mentu has inspired you, you let her know that, all right? So we're going to take a short break, Ms. Rahim, and we're going to get back to you. All right, so I'm going to turn over to Mr. Brian Louis. Wow, great video. Thank you, sir, and welcome back, Ms. Rahim. All right, let's go into the chat and see if there are any, let's see the comments that we have here, if there are any questions. I'm seeing here that people have been agreeing with Ms. Rahim. We are designed for a purpose. You are directing such beautiful thinking. They say thank you. Beautifully said, totally awesome presentation, blown over, thank you. You left me feeling so calm and peaceful. Wow, this was captivating. Felt like I was in school paying attention to an amazing teacher. Very inspiring, awesome speaker. Very inspirational session. Thanks, Tasha, for reminding me to focus on the journey, not where we are now. Totally inspired. Be calm, be quiet, connect. Wow. I mean, Ms. Rahim, you have done it. You have inspired. I mean, I'm not seeing any questions for you, but I'm seeing where you have done so much and given so much that people are comforted. People feel better. I'm sure many women and the men as well, who may be going through difficult periods, even, whatever we are doing in life, obstacles always come, But what Miss Rahim has encouraged us to do is just to be calm, connect, know that we have a purpose, know that we can overcome, know that she is a living testimony of the goodness of God and the strength within her. So, Miss Rahim, I don't know. No one else has any questions, but I mean, let me ask you one question. All right. Tell me something. I know you have given us so much, but what is the hardest thing you have had to deal with in life? The hardest thing you would say, and how did you overcome?
Okay, first, Charlene, I want to acknowledge if someone calls me Tasha, because you see my name is Tonya. When someone calls me Tasha Geraldine, I have to take a moment and say to Geraldine, who is clearly a schoolmate from umpteen years ago, Geraldine, hats off to you. Thank you for putting that into the chat. It's been so many years. Brings back lots of memories. Okay, so what has been the hardest, most challenging? I would say really my self-doubt, my words to myself. The me who is me now is not the same as the me before, because I was always doubting. Geraldine would have known me to be this very shy, very quiet. No way would I ever stand in front of an audience to speak. Wow. Ever. And I mean, like, never. Okay. So the voices that said you had to accept that you couldn't. The voice that said, well, in this life, perhaps it's like this, maybe in the next life it will change. There are those who receive privileges, and by privileges, I don't only mean financially, I mean just happiness, just joy, just being able to, well, I only later learned that it really meant being who you are. And one of the ways that I was able to overcome that is when I started allowing others to be themselves. When I started accepting that the person who I taught made my life miserable, that was not doing the things I wanted them to do, that was just hurting me, that it wasn't them. It really and truly was me. I distinctly remembered one morning after crying my eyes out, having terrible experiences in a particular situation. I would cry and cry and cry. But the way that where my bed was situated, when I got up and I turned to the right, there was this huge mirror. So I was able to see myself. I got off the bed and I walked towards the mirror and I said, this is what you're going to do? This is what you're going to do every day? I mean, you're really serious? You're going to be crying every day? That's what you're going to do? Are you just going to do that? And it's when you do those things, there are points in your life where you get some awakening. I think what would have perhaps allowed me to do that was I did a lot of reading. So when I say, who are the people in your life, who are the voices that you listen to externally? It wasn't necessarily people that I had physically next to me, and there were some, but more so the books that I chose to read. And now with YouTube, well, who you go online and listen to? Who do you spend time? I taught myself to do that. And as I taught myself to do that, the external voices like Les Brown and Robin Sharma, Joel Osteen, those were they played major roles in my life. Though then it started to connect with the inner voice. Then you start to realize that you have an inner voice. Because all the thing you're hearing in your head all the time, you don't know it might sound very silly, but you're not realizing it's your voice, it's you doing that. So I would say that would be how I was able to overcome that. And it's still a journey.
Wow. Yes. Wow. Thank you again for just opening up and sharing with us, because it really means a lot to know, when we see you successful, we see all that you have achieved, and we know so much about, the success part, but we also recognize that you have had challenges that you have had to face. And there were times when you had voices are wrong, but because of what you have exposed your mind to, because of what you have been feeding yourself, those voices were able to come forward and pull you out of wherever you were and get you to the point where you could move forward. And this is so inspiring. I really appreciate what you have shared, because we have so many women, so many people on the chat who would be going through a lot. And this really, you give us such simple nuggets that is going to really help us to be able to move forward and get to where we have to go. So I'm really, really grateful for your honesty and for your authenticity. We really, really appreciate it. Okay, Ms. Rahim, I'm seeing like people putting things in the chat again. And Miss Donna Samlal, saying a phenomenal woman, she is asking, do you teach Spanish virtually, and what is the age group? You want to get her?
Claro que sí. As a matter of fact, I'm recognizing some students that are on the call, like Brian Louis and Alicia Danielle. And I'm seeing quite a few. However, I do different age groups. So there's a Spanish club, which is the 10 to 15-year-olds. Then I do 4s and 5s, adults. And then in March, we are doing Art Spanish, which would be with the younger kids. Wow. But, you can search on the social media pages, The Leadership Lab is the name of the organization. It's the best way to connect.
Okay, so you guys remember the Leadership Lab? Send some love to Ms. Rahim. All right. Okay, I see Mr. Louis has said, thank you for overcoming that fear. You are an amazing gift to the world. I felt it the first day I met you. All right. And then we have a question for Mr. Louis, and he's asking, how do you build that personality of caring, even when people around you don't seem to appreciate the care?
Yes. Well, we are all on a journey. And the journey we are on is to ourselves, each person. When we recognize that we are on our own journey, walking alongside our brothers and sisters, if they are not appreciating or not showing care, we recognize that they are on their path, and we'll get there. They will get there. Life's lessons, different lessons are meant for each of us. It's not the same. It would be so boring if we all experience the same thing. I believe that we are all part of one. So if we don't have the patience with the ones who don't appreciate and care, then we don't have the patience with ourselves, because they're part of who we are. Now, that doesn't mean that you don't get angry or you don't feel the emotion. As a matter of fact, I encourage you to allow the emotion. Just don't allow the emotion to change who you are, to dictate who you are. Because who you are not going to change. The you, that is authentically you, then the eyes of God is never, ever, ever, ever going to change. It's the way you see it. So it's about learning to adjust your view. If you were sitting in a space where all you saw in front of you was ugly, and you refuse to turn your head when right next to you is something so beautiful waiting for you. You miss it. So when someone is not appreciating, it's something that they are feeling inside and perhaps they are facing in the wrong direction. You do what you can to help them change, but allow them to do it in their own timing.
Goodness, wow, 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 wow. Allow them to do it in their own timing. Keep your focus on what is ahead of you and be positive. Thank you so very much, Ms. Rahim. Again, I appreciate your time. We all do. And if there's nothing else, let me check the chat again. Just this morning, I was looking through Facebook and saw your Spanish classes. A year ago, I decided to start learning Spanish on my own. The journey is hard, but thanks for the encouragement. I will succeed. So, Ms. Rahim, you have done awesome. You have done us proud. We are honored and grateful. You are beautiful, amazing. We thank you. A boss up woman in the house, a boss up lady. And as we look to close our session for this afternoon, I am saying thanks to everyone who have joined us from all over the world. Thanks to our Emirians who are here, and special thanks to Miss Toanya Rahim. We love you, Miss Rahim. God bless you. So ladies, so everyone, please remember, when women support each other, incredible things can happen. Remember that? We heard it in a different way from Ms. Toanya Rahim. And this is Impact 10,000 Boss Up event.